HAZBIN Hotel is an amazing show, with beautiful animation, lovable characters, and catchy songs. For a while now, I always wanted to make a theory on HAZBIN Hotel and Hellaverse, because Hell is an incredibly interesting, and I thought making a theory on it would be easy. But then it hit me that it wasn't as easy as I previously thought. And eventually I just gave up. But I still had the desire to make a theory on these shows. Then the full series of HAZBIN Hotel came out, and for a little bit I had nothing. But then something hit me. I realized that there is an incredibly weird moment in Hellaverse, aka a plot hole. And this single plot hole has led me down a rabbit hole of realization and realization and realization. And now, I finally have my theory. Hello. I am Keithlim, and I finally have my HAZBIN Hotel theory. And let's just jump right in. In Season 1, Episode 4 of Hellaverse, we are introduced to the cherubs, aka basically the polar opposites of IMP, where when the imps kill for profit, the cherubs save lives for no profit. I think it's a really funny episode, but that's not what's important, because there is one scene in that episode that makes no sense. In fact, it's the intro. If you haven't seen the episode, or any episode of either the Hellaverse or HAZBIN Hotel, I recommend you do so, because this video contains heavy spoilers for both series. So watch them both and then get back to this. Alright, that was your spoiler warning. In the beginning of the episode, IMP is watching a commercial for the cherubs on their TV, and they shoot the TV for fun. Wait, what did I just say? IMP saw a commercial from the cherubs, but they're watching it from hell, and the commercial is coming from heaven. And in the commercial, they make it clear that only good souls can use their services. So, obviously no one is going to be using their services from hell, but then why? Why the hell are we seeing a commercial from heaven in hell? It makes no sense. Wait, what were they viewing it from? A TV. Wait, which HAZBIN Hotel character controls all of technology in hell? Vox. Somehow, in some way, Vox is connected to why this commercial aired in hell. But how? Oh my god. I got it. Vox and the V's are working with heaven. Alright, I might have lost some of you with that claim, but hear me out, because I obviously have more evidence. In the Season 1 finale of HAZBIN Hotel, the V's are all watching on the TV the battle between the Exorcists and Charlie's army. But hold on a sec. In Episode 3, they were the ones who wanted a revolution to begin. Hell, they even came up with a plan themselves. So, why are they just staying around? Well, it's because they know they'll be safe. Let me explain. I think that the V's made a deal with heaven, that if heaven can use Vox tech to spy on all of hell, the V's would be safe from the exterminations. I mean, that would solve why they seem so calm in the finale. But wait, if they made this deal with heaven, then why did they come up with a plan for a revolution? Well, I think the reason they did this was to see how the overlords would react to the dead exorcists, and if they would be willing to go to war now. Keep in mind, Vox has cameras everywhere, and probably found the dead exorcist via the cameras. And if that was the case, it would also mean heaven also knows. But wait a minute. Don't Lut and Adam not know who Carmilla killed the angel? Well, listen closely to what Lut says.
We found the body, sir. They've never managed to kill one of us before. We should just go down there now and destroy them.
No. We can't risk them catching on. But don't worry. When we come back, there won't be a demon left alive to pull a stunt like this again.
She says, we should just go down there right now and destroy them. In this entire scene, they never mention anything about not knowing who killed the angel, only that they want to destroy who did it. And I think the them Lut is talking about is Carmilla and her daughters. And then Adam proceeds to stop her, and instead says that during the next extermination they'll kill everyone. Alright, but this has all been mere speculation. Where is the real evidence? Well, I've got good news for you, because all the evidence you need is right in episode 6, where, during the trial, they do this.
We have a patron who is making incredible progress.
Who?
Angel Dust.
Oh yeah, the porn demon. He's totally worth being redeemed.
But Angel is doing all of those things right now.
Then let's fucking see it, bro.
It's right there. Adam just pulls up footage of what is going on in the consent club Angel and the gang are at, where they most likely have Vox Tech cameras. And besides, heaven is already pretty shady, so this isn't above them to literally spy on all of hell, which also explains why Lut somehow knew that Vaggie and Charlie were dating. And also, they would have already known who killed the angel because of the many witnesses who were left alive. So either way, heaven knows who killed that angel. Also, 66 News flat out says they can receive news from the Heaven Embassy. And what news station does Vox use during Stayed Gone? 666 News. So, there was already a connection between Vox and Heaven to begin with. And then there's the fact that Adam knew who Angel Dust was in his work, because Valentino is working with Heaven, and also because of the deal with Vox Tech. But this also makes for a very dark realization. If Angel Dust redeems himself, is he truly free? 'Cause if Valentino has connections to Heaven, is it not possible for him to find a way to control him? I don't really know, but that's just a bit of a mini theory. And it overall doesn't affect this one, so, keep that in the back of your mind. And now we will be transitioning to the next part of my HAZBIN Hotel theory, the Alistair part. Honestly, if it weren't for this section of the video, this probably would have been called the Vox theory. Anyways, there's a theory going around that Alistair made a deal with Lilith because of both their shared absence from hell for specifically 7 years. And in the finale of HAZBIN Hotel, it is shown that Lilith apparently made a deal with Adam. And since she is in heaven, I assume that the deal was her staying in heaven, and of course something in return that's currently unknown. Anyways, this is very important because in the finale, Adam and Alistair fight, and Adam says this. This makes no sense. If he knows Angel Dust, then wouldn't he know who a very powerful and dangerous overlord is? And I know it's soft canon at this point, but even Vaggie and the pilot knew who Alistair was. So why doesn't Adam know? Also, if Lilith made a deal with Alistair around the same time Lilith made a deal with Adam, then surely Adam would know. But it's not making any sense. Unless you consider my theory. Whenever Alistair appears on camera footage, it glitches. So, here's what I think happened. Adam had no idea who Alistair was because whenever he appeared on camera, it would glitch out. meaning Alistair and Lilith can definitely still make their deal without Adam knowing, and this would explain why the Exorcists somehow didn't know about the uprising. In the finale, they were caught off guard, and Alistair was a part of this, so the footage of their training would probably be glitching out. But wait, in the finale, wasn't it showing very clear footage of them training? If so, why didn't Heaven notice this? Well, it's because it's the day before Extermination Day. They're probably training or practicing or something. But if this theory wasn't true, and Vox Tech wasn't helping out Heaven, then how do you explain Adam not having any idea who Alistair is? But since we've pretty much gone through my evidence for the whole Vox theory, let's delve more into Alistair. And if Lilith and Alistair did make a deal, what kind of deal was it? Well, I think Alistair wanted loads of power in exchange for doing whatever Lilith commanded. And I think this deal took place long before Vox entered Hell and right when Alistair did. That would also explain why Alistair was able to kill so many powerful overlords so fast. And for a while, Lilith probably didn't ask anything of Alistair. But then when Lilith made her deal with Adam, she probably commanded Alistair to join her. Why, you may ask? Well, I think it's because Lilith is in love with him. And also, I'm not saying Alistair is in love with Lilith or anything, I'm just saying Lilith is in love with Alistair. This is very one-way relationship. And if she can command him to do whatever she wants, then this also explains Alistair's need to fill in the role of being Charlie's stepdad, basically. It's because Lilith wants it. And then the final song, listen to what Alistair is saying. Is being controlled and now has his limits on what he can do. And when he figures out a loophole to the deal, he'll just unleash his full abilities and probably rule all of Hell. Which is why he wanted Charlie to do a favor hit for him at any point, where she harms no one. Somehow, Charlie is the key to Alistair's freedom. And listen to this particular line. I think not only did his deal include loads of power, but immortality as well. And I think when Adam injured Alistair, he did die, but he actually just reincarnated and spawned in a different area. Also, there is technically still the question on why they aired a commercial from Heaven in Hell. Well, let's think about the type of guy Adam is. He is a jackass, and probably had the commercial air in Hell either as a prank or an insult to the sinners, since they literally can't use it to save whatever loved ones they have, that are still alive, that is. And, wait a minute, if Heaven is spying on Hell, then aren't they aware of IMP? The way Stolas interacts with IMP in episode 6 of Hellaverse makes it very clear that giving them access to the mortal realm is illegal. So, why doesn't Heaven call them out? Well, I think it's because of IMP, they decided to make an organization that is the exact opposite, possibly to keep balance. And that's probably how the Cherubs were established. In conclusion, Voxtech and the V's made a deal with Heaven where in exchange for safety from the exterminations, Heaven can use their cameras to spy on all of Hell. And Adam doesn't know who Alistair is because Alistair makes cameras glitch. And the deal between Alistair and Lilith was that Alistair could have loads of power and immortality in exchange for him doing whatever Lilith wanted. And the cherubs were created to counterbalance IMP. Alright, so theory's done, right? Well, technically, this theory should be over, but I can't help but think there is something else. Wait, I just realized what it was. Alright, so let's delve into the overlords of hell. More specifically, Rosie. She is the overlord of Cannibal Town, and she owns the souls of the residents there. But something's off. Why do all the residents look exactly the same? I was assuming maybe while they were all alive they could have been a cult or something, but something else has to be at play. For a while I couldn't understand why, and then it hit me. It is because Rosie owns their souls. I think when someone sells their soul to an overlord, that person's appearance starts to look like the overlord's appearance. That would explain why every single person in Cannibal Town looks the same. But what about the other overlords? Well, Valentina owns Angel Dust's soul, and Angel Dust has Valentino's golden tooth, the redness in his eyes, and Angel's fur resembles the fluff on Valentino's outfit. Alright, so if this is true, then what is the theory? Well, a very weird detail on Vox is the blood dripping from his mouth. It sometimes shows up. And my original theory was that the blood dripping from his mouth showed us that he was a cannibal at some point in his life. I mean, after all, Alistair is pretty much confirmed to be a cannibal and does have the blood dripping from the mouth when he's in his Wendigo form. But wait, what was that? Alistair and Vox both have the blood dripping from their mouths. What am I saying? I'm saying that Alistair owns Vox's soul. I know this makes no sense, but hear me out. 'Cause let's look at Husk. When he sold his soul to Alistair, he lost all of his power. So how come Vox is still considered an overlord? Which means they literally have power and influence in hell. Well, I think that Alistair made a deal with Vox in a similar style to that of the deal with Alistair and Lilith, where Vox was able to retain his power, but technically Alistair owns his soul. But there is more evidence for Alistair owning Vox's soul in terms of his design. Just look at their outfits. They have this exact same jackets with the stripes. It's just that they're different colors. They both have bow ties, their shoes look very similar, and they both look like they have shoulder pads. Alright, so they look similar in terms of outfits, but is there more evidence that can prove this? Yes. I know this particular piece of evidence is pretty weak, but while Alistair has the filter on his voice all the time, Vox's filter does pop up every now and then, and this fits into the overall theme of the people whose souls are sold resembling the overlords, even if it is subtle. And their mouths look very similar, but like the filter, Vox isn't constantly smiling for a reason. But all of this is confirmed simply by the song "Stayed Gone." And why was that line so hard to say? Anyways, Alistair straight up says he'd be powerless without the other V's. So maybe this clip is showing us the truth, that maybe Vox no longer has true power in terms of souls, but his appearance is being kept up by the other V's. And then Alistair reveals why Vox is so mad at him. Now, is it just me, or is that whole situation a bit more complicated than just simple rejection? I mean, this isn't Valentina we're talking about. it's Vox, who is usually very calm. So, it's not really just rejection. So, what exactly happened? Well, I think what Vox says right after that tells us what we need to know. Hey, he says, I'll show you true suffering. Alright, so this definitely isn't just simple rejection. I mean, what exactly happened that day to make him this angry? Alright, so here's how I think this went down. Vox and Alistair met up, and when Vox asked him to join the V's, Alistair agreed, but in exchange they made a deal. And in the end, Alistair tricked him and stole Vox's soul. Regardless of if Vox kept his power over souls or not, Vox is upset. They fight and Alistair almost makes Vox succumb, but then Lilith intervenes and drags him with her up to heaven. But is there evidence that Alistair was stopped mid-fight? Yes, by this single comment by Valentino.
It's been 7 years! You stayed pissed, he almost beat you that time.
Bingo. Also, keep in mind that instead of all the V's coming to the meeting, only oh, oops, that line read was terrible, but I'm keeping that in because Jesus, this video is long. Anyways, rewind that. Bingo. Also, keep in mind that instead of all of the V's coming to the meeting, only Velvet shows up. I know Velvet explains why, but maybe Vox didn't show up because he isn't a real overlord anymore. I mean, only him and the other V's know that, but the other overlords don't, but who knows. Anyways, but again, this is kinda a second theory in this theory video. Please comment down below if you agree or disagree. Point out any issues you want and I'll try to address them in the comments. Also, please like and subscribe. Even if you disagree, a lot of thinking, time, and effort goes into these videos. So a simple like and a subscription is very appreciated. And if you disagree, please be civil in the comments below. But anyways, until next time. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. There was one more piece of evidence I had for this entire theory that Alistair has Vox's soul, and I legitimately forgot to put it in the video. Like, oh my god, I'm so stupid. But while I'm recording this, let's go through that piece of evidence. So, if I am going to make the claim that if someone owns someone else's soul, then the person whose soul was sold retains and gets some features from, the person who owns their soul currently. We see this with Valentino and Rosie. But if I am going to make the claim that Vox's soul is owned by Alistair, then surely Alistair would have some features of Lilith, right? Well, there is. I just realized it now. It's a clue from Lucifer. It's in the Hell's Greatest Dad song. When Lucifer is ranting about how he just so happens to be Charlie's, blood relative, we see blood dripping from his mouth in a similar style to that of Alistair and Vox. And from what I know anyways, these are the only 3 characters who are seen with blood dripping from their mouths. But wait a minute, didn't I say Alistair's soul is owned by Lilith? Well, yeah. I think that the blood, maybe blood dripping from the mouth, is a shared trait between Lucifer and Lilith currently. And then when Lilith made the deal with Alistair got the blood dripping from his mouth as, yeah. as you know, the trait that he inherited from Lilith. And why was that line so hard to say? I'm not even reading a script. And then that was passed down to Vox, and it's shared between Vox, Alistair, and Lilith. And I know this could just be a trait that's just that just Lucifer has, and maybe it's not even shared with Lilith. But I did think it was at least worth mentioning, even if it is flimsy evidence. But it does show that at least Alistair can at least have a trait that's shared with Lilith, you know? But I can't believe I forgot to put that in the goddamn video. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that. And that was gonna be like my final piece of evidence. Like, you know, like the whole... there's the whole build-up thing in the video, then there's the, like, dramatic twist, and then there's, like, the blood dripping from the mouth, all that stuff. And then the video would have concluded. But no, I legitimately forgot to, and I am not going to re-record all of that. Do you see how long this video is? But anyways, I'm Keyflame, and have a lovely day. Bye.